This installment of Daily Mutterings brought to you by a crappy intro of a figurine falling over. I just had to do it. Sorry. In joke.
No, there's a very big difference in this generation as far as one major thing. And it's something a lot of us take for granted now, or at least a lot of people coming from my generation, which is basically that we live in a generation where we basically accept online buddies as just a normal thing. That sounds kind of like asinine to state it that way, but it's true. When you think about it, your average guy, especially your average YouTuber, tends to make a lot of online pen pals or online friends. I know for myself, I Skype with a lot of my online buddies, or at least my very close ones. And it's really sort of an interesting thing when you think about it. The fact that here you are on your little computer all the way across the world, and here this other person is in a completely different place. And you've got to really start thinking about that and just how wonderful that is. What a wonderful little connection we've got going here. It isn't the same as what it used to be. We are connecting on a completely different level because of the internet. But you talk about this with some people who may not, quite get it, I think. Well, I don't want to say get it, because that sounds like one of those things, I am sorry about that. My camera just decided that it wanted to run out of memory stick space. It loves to do that sometimes. It's just like, it loves to screw with me, I think. It just decides, like, right in the middle when I'm about to say something heartfelt, it's just going to be like, you know what? I'm not going to let Caleb talk. I'm just going to, like, completely shut off and see how he reacts. And after I threw it against the wall over there, I think it learned its lesson. The camera, the little lens might not be working exactly the way that it's supposed to, but, I taught that camera a lesson. Shoot, where was I? Shoot, give me a minute. I swear, give me a minute. Give me a minute. Excuse me, I have a bit of a cold. Colds are not good things to deal with in general. They're nasty, and they're sick, and they make you feel sick. So you should tell people in general that you're not going to take it. You're not going to take it because you've got a cold. And people don't tend to understand how fucked up colds are. Shoot, where was I? There are so many friends online that I am so glad that I have met. And it's another one of those, you're a loser, you have no life, some people will say. Actually, I have plenty of friends in reality that I meet practically every week. We hang out, we do stuff. It isn't like I don't have a social life outside of the computer. But there's so many people that I met through YouTube, through other sites, that have really, I think, had a strong impact on my life, mostly through YouTube. Brett, who's actually like one of my best online buddies, pretty much, period. Like, I think about it, and it's like, we've been buddies for like 2.5 years now. And it's really kind of amazing how much we've kind of stuck around with each other, and the fact that we don't really, actually we do fight quite a bit, but we haven't really separated yet. There's always kind of that connectiveness with it, mostly because we end up doing podcasts and silly stuff like that. But he's kind of like my geek outlet. There's a lot of people in general that I would consider good people to just like let out all my crap to. I let out a lot of my crap to him, and so for that I'm completely thankful. There's a person called Sea Monster Alchemist, which some of you might not even know who she is. She was a blogger way back in the day, I think like 2 years ago or so. She was a really, really close online buddy for a long time there too. Even closer now, actually. It's one of those things where we've actually kind of grown closer over the years. And she's wonderful. She's absolutely, like, she plays the role of my therapist sometimes. I swear, I'll go online and it'll be like, oh, what's the problem? And they'll be like, family and stuff. It sucks. And she'll be, like, there for me. She's not physically there for me, but it's really quite interesting, I think, how much you can learn about a person and feel about a person through an internet connection. I know it's not the same as meeting them in real life and seeing them day to day and everything, but I do think that you can get a general sense of who a person is, where their heart is, sometimes through a long-term internet, not relationship, but friendship. So there's a lot of things that I'm just extremely thankful for, especially back when I was about 14 or 15. I had a profile where I did little Kingdom Hearts dubs, because I was a big Kingdom Hearts geek. And I ended up meeting all these different girls and all these different people from the Kingdom Hearts fan base that ended up liking my stuff for some reason. I still don't know why. And it ended up really circulating. And I ended up, sort of being this guy who was an active part of this online Kingdom Hearts dubbing community. And I met all these different people, and it really helped to reassure myself, really. It was a point in my life where at that point I actually didn't have a lot of outside social outlets. I didn't really relate to people all that much as I do now. It's just like I was having a hard time with just relating with a lot of different people, and here was a group of people that seemed to be just like me, who liked the same sort of stuff, and that was a learning experience. So it's very fortunate that this generation has such an outlet like the internet. Like, past generations have never had anything like this, where you can find people that are like just like you and just start emailing them and talking to them. There's a dangerous side to that too, but for the most part, man, the positives so outweigh the negatives in that case. It's wonderful. This is why I have to applaud the internet for completely changing my life in a lot of ways that I wouldn't even really bother to quote here. But I begin to wonder, like, socially, functionally, like, how I would have developed. I probably would be fine, but I'm not even like all that socially savvy still. I'm kind of a geek, but I get along very well with other geeks. So that's kind of my clique. That's the place where I belong. I think everybody has a place where they belong like that. So I just was starting to get really sentimental about it, sort of looking back, and I just want to thank all the people that I've really talked to over the years that have been there for me, and I just want to say, you guys are the greatest. I'm so glad that I've managed to kind of have this adventure with you guys, really. Just sort of tackling life together, I suppose. Anyways, geez, I'm getting a little bit emotional. This is My Profile is Great, and I will just go ahead and sign out because I'm being silly now. Hello, Mr. Camera. Hello.